Good evening. This video is mainly for Milky and maybe Farah. First of all, don't look at my shirt. Now that you looked at my shirt, that's a woman's t-shirt and it's a little bit too short for me, but it was the biggest size they have, and it might not even show up on camera, but it's this dag, and it has a picture of someone drowning in a pool. When Milky started her episodes of Girl War Big Brother, that is obviously an idea many people have had. Not the Girl World specifically, but for example, when the werewolf pack came out, a simmer called Fake Gamer Girl, previously obviously having the vampire pack, did enacted an episode of Twilight where she had all of the main Twilight characters, and the thing is that Sims 2, what Sims 2, it was only funny to us to say that, oh, this is so Bella and this is so, I don't know, Jacob. I don't know if Jacob took his shirt off and I don't know, but or in Milky's case, this is so Salah or this is so Foodie, um, and Foodie also, Milky also had Naked and Laughing, which I must say that Milky wanted a cow plant, and there is two ways to get cow plant. I mean, the third way is cheating, but two ways. First is grafting, meaning mixing different plants together, and but which would take time. The other and much easier way is to travel to Oasis Spring, go to the Desert Bloom Park, go to the most farthest lake or fishing spot and start fishing, and you're pretty much guaranteed to get a cowberry, especially if your fishing skill is above 2, which is quite easy to do. Anyway, Naked and Laughing was a vampire, and because Sims is actually a pretty sloppily programmed game, the way vampires work is that actually uh, the vampire in this case, or it might be ghost or something other, they act like any normal sim. They only have the special characteristic of being a ghost or a vampire. So it was in the middle of the day, and Naked and Laughing, well, she was at the park, so she went to play the chess in the sunlight, and it's not really healthy for vampires to be in sunlight. Well, except if you're vampire from Twilight, then you sparkle in the sun and display a bling to all the onlookers, and it's so sexy. Either way, the Naked and Laughing started burning because of sunlight, and she died. She was actually one of the first character to die, and it's I'm kind of proud to say that it's partly my fault because I suggested going to the park. To be fair, I didn't take it into account that Naked and Laughing is a vampire and might burn up. Either way, if you if you are now constantly afraid that Sims you don't want dying might be eaten by cowplant. And I already said it in chat, but there are only specific conditions where a sim might die from cowplant. First of all, a cowplant gets hungry every 7 or 8 hours, and that's in-game time. So might be 7 or 8 minutes real time. It seems to work that way. That 1 hour sim time is 1 minute real time. Either way, when the cowplant gets hungry and isn't fed in time, the cowplant will extend out its tongue, and on its tongue it has a piece of cake, and seems that might be hungry. There are certain items seem to prioritize over the other. So when over others. So when a cowplant is in the lot and the cowplant has the cake extended, the sim that gets hungry always goes to the cake on autonomy. The first time the when the sim eats the cake or goes to eat the cake, the cowplant will eat the sim. And the first time the sim is eaten, the cowplant will spit the sim out, as it happened with King Cobra. And in order for King Cobra to die, assuming we want King Cobra to die for whatever reason. In order for King Cobra to die, he has to go for the gate for the second time. And I haven't actually tested this out, but it might be that when the cowplant offers the cake the second time, and a different sim goes to try to eat the cake, it might reset the counter for King Cobra. Either way, even if a sim tries to eat the cake for the first time, it will not be fatal, and they will spit out sim, and the cowplant will have they're rather full, and they can't be milked, and the milk will be the essence of the emotion that the sim who was eaten was feeling. So since King Cobra was uncomfortable, it was the essence of uncomfortableness. Meaning that if King Cobra was happy for some reason, it would have been an essence of happiness. Either way, I don't know why I'm talking about cowplant so much. The thing is that when Milky was finished with the creation of the household, she needed a place for the Sims to live. So she downloaded a house from the gallery and did some necessary tweaking. And I offered that I can build Milky a house that she would be free to use or not use, or even though I prefer that Milky actually tried out my house, that maybe for the season 2. Either way, the house is not ready because I'm lazy, but I think I can show some initial pictures. So I actually have a certain place in mind for the uh, house, and the dimensions of the house. Uh, I don't even remember at the top of the head. The dimensions are important because if you place the house in a big lot, of course the house will fit. But if you place it in a smaller lot, the the house would have to give up its part, uh, its territory. Either way, it might be 20 by 30 tiles, so it's not the smallest lot. And the ideal place, I mean, you can choose to place the lot anywhere, but the intended place for it is in Ocean Springs, in one of those empty lots that is empty when the game starts. And as you can see from the map screen, not that you would be looking at the map screen often, this lot looks very tiny and cute. It's basically a tiny house with uh, some trees on the corner of the lot, and there is actually a gravestone there, an empty gravestone that if you want your Sims to constantly go cry at the gravesite, you might want to replace the grave with a sort of grave that has a sim inside of it. Either way, the house looks really small, and it's indeed small, at least on the ground level. It basically it houses one sim, or maybe two if the sims are okay with sleeping on the same bed. But the real uh, purpose of the house gets revealed if you go downstairs, and it actually has two levels of fully built out basements. So the first basement level has room for, well, if two sims or one sim lives above ground, it has room for 6 or 7 sims, and actually it's built in a way that the doors can be locked. Uh, you have to study the rooms beforehand, but the doors can actually be locked in a way that each two pair of sims has access to beds, toilet, and a shower, and of course a fridge. And I had to include an oven because because the game being the way it is, if there's an oven in a lot, then even the Sims who live behind locked doors with access to a fridge but not oven would often autonomously get the urge to cook a meal that requires the oven, but since they cannot, since the doors are locked and they cannot reach the oven, that might result in available counter space being filled up with food that Sims cannot cook, and it wouldn't be good. Either way, the biggest room there is modeled after Foodie's place. I mean, the first place they were in, the place that Foodie Beauty famously claimed that I have 7 couches here. Actually, the room itself, the big room, only has 4 couches, but the 3 remaining couches are placed in other rooms. For example, there is a gym that if the doors are unlocked or uh, at least are locked in a way, unlocked in a way that they can access the gym. One of the couches is in gym where uh, actually there is no treadmill because I thought it would be too crowded in there, but it has a weight machine and a boxing bag. When the rooms are locked in the way that Sims could not uh, go on the ground level, they cannot access the painting room. But there is actually a painting room with let's say sufficient easels, which by the way is a good way to make money because when Sims level up their painting skills, their paintings are more and more valuable. So in theory, you could have a household where nobody works but everybody paints, and when you sell enough paintings, you can afford the bills and whatever else you should desire at the moment. There is actually a room next to the painting room, which is actually a locked room in the way that there is no door leading to that room. So the only way you can access the room is mm, I don't remember if ghosts can go into secret rooms. I mean, not secret rooms, walled off rooms. But the only way to get to that room is to actually teleport there, which well, you have to have cheating enabled to be able to teleport. But the goal of the locked room is that if for whatever reason you want to have your sim securely locked in a room that they cannot get out, they would go there. And of course, that locked room, that walled off room, will of course have a bed and a toilet and a shower and a fridge and an oven and even a laptop to play video games or do whatever you want for fun. And actually, all of the rooms have laptops because the way I solved the design is actually not to have a special computer desk except two, but the rest of rooms have only counter spaces for eating. But since you can place laptops on counters, then the counters actually have a multi-purpose because well, there's always two counter chairs or bar stools, and the idea is that one bar stool is where the sim can eat, and the other bar stool is for the sim to uh, access the computer. And when the doors are unlocked, in the way that the Sims can race to the ground floor and go to the painting room. There is also a common room which, well, it's nothing special, but it has a play table where 4 Sims can play the game Wake the Llama, which is it's very hard. I would say it's in my experience, it never happens that four Sims autonomously decide to play the game. But if you command them to play the game, well, it's recommended that you fulfill their needs first. And if you command them to play the game, that when four teams play the game together, that actually gradually raises their friendship level. So it could be useful to make Sims friends. And Sims being friends would give certain benefits because um, you might think that the only way two Sims could sleep on the same bed is that they have enough romance. But actually, when two Sims are good friends, they also can agree to sleep together. And I mentioned having two basements. Actually, the second basement, I noticed that I mean Milky, have the back get together. Uh, so what I did in the second level basement was that I basically made two rooms. One of which is an indoor pool, and one of them is a dance floor, a nightclub, if you will. And if you and the nightclub has, well, currently it is unfinished, but it has a DJ booth. So if you so desire, one of your sims can play music, can play DJ music to other sims to dance for. And there's also a mixology table in the nightclub, which can cause a problem because when Sims get inspired, they are prone to do certain things. Since I have the painting room, inspired Sims often go painting. But what I personally find annoying is that when Sims get inspired, they tend to go and make a drink, and what makes it worse is that the game apparently has been programmed in for the inspired sim to go make a drink, but not to drink the drink. So it is not a problem if you have a, let's say, rich household, but if you barely manage to pay your bills every week, it actually gets rather annoying because each time a sim goes to make a drink, the game takes the price of ingredients off from your household, which means that if your sims constantly go making drinks, the household funds fund funds keep on draining, and when the sims don't even drink the drinks, it makes it even more frustrating because if you were to forget about mixology table for any period of time, and sims are on autonomy, which means that they are free to go mix drinks, then it might be a possibility that suddenly you want to, I don't know, you want to focus your camera on the mixology table, and you discover the mixology table full of drinks, some of which are already expired, and basically Sims need to just throw them away, which is not literally throwing money away, but almost literally, because they keep on making drinks and not drinking them, and then throwing the expired drinks away, which is a waste of money. So I just realized that I don't know why I'm making this video or how I'm going to end it, because the house is not finished yet. So I don't know, I guess peace. I'm in peace.
We steun i onke tanden, zie ik door no niks. Hoe maar